Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Fireside Chats. This is where we invite some members of the Polygon community to get to know the projects and the people behind them. Today, we're meeting a really special guest from SushiSwap, Rachel. Thanks for coming over.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, you guys launched a couple of weeks ago or a little over a week ago, right, on Polygon. Been doing pretty well. But I guess before we dive deep into what Sushi is doing on Polygon, we'd like to ask you a simple question. Who's Rachel?
Cool. Yeah. Great question. My name is Rachel, and I'm the product manager at SushiSwap. And yeah, I have been really intrigued by what we've been doing throughout the entire time in DeFi, especially going from a fork of an AMN all the way to building an ecosystem, right? So I think my mission at Sushi is uh, uh, really to embrace how DeFi is going to change the world as well as reaching to more people.
That's great. And how did you get into crypto?
Yeah, so around 2018, I actually got into crypto through a crypto.
121463357.
Okay, yeah, I actually got into a crypto fund, and through that, I was able to really see the landscape from an investment side. But also, I came from a tech background and a product background, where I also was in the startup space. So deeply intrigued by getting product off the ground from 0 to 1, as well as scaling it from 1 to 100. So yeah, that's where my interest is based, and really excited to be a part of the Sushi team. I think, from my opinion, ever since joining DeFi, I've always thought an app layer platform is one of the most promising platform, and I think that's where I hope to take Sushi to.
Cool. No, that's awesome. So you talked a little bit about the team. What is the team dynamic? What's the team culture like in Sushi? Are you all kind of based in one area? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think a lot of people are very curious about, the dynamic and the structure of Sushi, but my opinion is I think we're one of the most decentralized organization. Everyone is able to participate. Everyone can build their own. Everyone can build as they wish, right? And but holistically, our vision really is united to one point where we hope to really bridge a platform and ecosystem where we hope that when user comes into our platform, they really don't have to leave again, right? And from the first time we launched cash lending all the way to now, Miso Launchpad, I think everyone is really working together and grounded to making that mission become true, right? And so yeah, I think team dynamic, we're not in the same place. So we're working remotely, and a lot of people really complain, everyone is everywhere and it's really hard to coordinate time. But I think this is what's fun about our organization is that you really learn how to work with people from different areas of the world, and it rarely does that happen, right? Not only that, we work so closely together with everyone on the team. And as a product manager, I sort of intersect between engineering to design to business development to marketing. So for me, it's also a very great learning opportunity where I can learn from everyone, right? So yeah, I think really excited to be a part of this team again. I think we're also, we're a community-driven project. So all the time we look for community members who are enthusiastic, who are really excited about the space. So yeah, actively looking for people out there who are excited and join us.
Oh, awesome. Oh, fantastic. And yeah, we'll share. Here's a Twitter.
Reach out to me. Yeah, feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah. It's okay. PM at Sushi, right? What does a day look like then for Rachel, the PM at Sushi?
Yeah. Well, I think my day is really focused on product, focused on internal team, and focused on users. So I would say a lot of time I would interact with the designers, how to bring the product from ideation stage to working with the engineers to to all the way interacting with users, to implementing and revising, and ultimately launching, right? So Miso is the third product that we've launched, and I've carried through and worked with the team together for both Kashi and Miso. So I'd say at Sushi, like, everything's running so fast. It's faster than any startup, I'd say, because we're constantly launching, right? We were just launched on Polygon, and then right afterwards on Miso, right afterwards something else, right? And obviously we have really exciting things coming up after Miso, and yeah, my day-to-day really is filled with just interacting with people. And for me, as a product manager, I also really love to interact with users. Users not only who possibly use Sushi, but also who don't, right? And then just want to get their sense of what do they think they want us to improve, and so on.
Cool. Okay, so you mentioned a few products. If people are out there that don't know much about sushi and they still think it's just a food type, how would you describe sushi and the products that you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we started off as an AMM, right? Community-driven and profit-sharing AMM, which is a very revolutionized model where, we've returned our profit way more than any traditional, back to our community members, way more than anyone that has been able to in the traditional or DeFi world, right? And in the product space, we were able to ship Kashi lending, which is an isolated lending markets where we serve leverage, right? And recently, we just launched a Miso IDO Launchpad, which is building from token minting all the way to auction creating within only a few clicks. So our mission is really, like I said again, right? As we launch next-gen AMM, we really hope that users can come to our platform and we really provide all the services they need. So I'd say Sushi, if you don't know what it is, it's an ecosystem that builds a suite of products from an AMN all the way reaching to now a launchpad, right? We have swap, stake, to lend, to yield, to IDO. So
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like you guys have it all, right? So many products, very complex, and people like them. So now you're on Polygon. Tell us a little bit about, why you moved to Polygon and what you think about the space.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of L2 solutions out there. And like I said, Sushi is one of the first projects to actually launch on all chains. And we realized that Polygon is just so fantastically innovative, where obviously we go for gas efficient, capital efficient, as well as many more aspects, right? And one of the best use cases for us is really to return and incentivize people and reward users that are on the platform. And we thought Polygon really is the best platform to do that, right? And moving toward the next step where people don't have to pay as much gas on Ethereum, we realized that that's a great way to actually reach to more people around the world. People who are not whales, people who are just normal users, people who just want to, who really just want to get away from the traditional finance space.
And people who don't want to second guess, should I make this transaction because it's going to cost me $70?
Exactly, right? Like,
We've all been there.
Speaking of that, on Kashi, for example, why we really thought of this platform is really there's no how can you even leverage up with the current platform, right? You'd have to go on Cream, and then you'd have to go back to Sushi to swap for collateral, and then go back to Cream, and that entirely costs what, like a couple $100, where I make a return of 3 cents. So yeah, I think really, no doubt that Polygon is the next way to go, and we've seen tremendous tractions, and yeah, really benefiting both partnerships.
Yeah, that's great to hear. You mentioned something in there, capital efficiency. That's something that at QiDao in our community we've been talking a lot about. So if you're a Sushi holder, somebody that holds a Sushi token, what can you do in Polygon to get more out of it, to get some yield?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can go on our MasterChef V2, where we do double incentives, in which if you go into one pool and farm, you're able to receive both sushi and the token X, right, as dual rewards. And that's a great way to actually do double yields, in which you can actually use the rewards and go lend out in Cashi and earn interest on top of that. And we'll have a really interesting tutorial out actually very soon, where you can do double yields and triple yields on Sushi, which, there are only 3 types of yields you can earn in DeFi, and Sushi really has got all of that, right? And so yeah, I think if you're a Sushi holder, you can go on our yield, go on our onsen to earn double rewards, MasterChef V2 to earn double rewards, and then you can go to Cashi and really lend out your assets and earn interest on top of that.
Awesome. And can you lend out sushi on Cashi? I didn't see it just yet, but is that
Yeah,
something?
so Cashi is actually, well, interestingly, what's going to happen is, maybe I can just say now, but we're actually thinking of bringing Miso on Polygon as well, right?
Oh wow! Well, you guys heard it here. A bit of alpha.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's something really exciting for us. So really excited to work with the Polygon team.
Yeah, they're very nice. I mean, they've been helping us since the beginning. Hamza, Sandeep, everyone, just very, very friendly people, and it shows, right, how much Polygon is growing. You
Exactly.
see the partnership with Aave, how much that's brought into the network. So yeah, very, very excited to see how much that collaboration gets them.
Exactly, yeah. And going back to that, right, like Lend or Cashi is actually already on Matic on Polygon, and you can go into Lend and you can lend out an asset, and in return you'll actually get something called a KMP token. So it's a tokenized symbol of the asset that you lend out, and then you can take that and go to yield and farm, and obviously earn yields, so dual rewards on top of that. So,
and we should get on Cashi, man.
yeah, so one of our best, really top priority initiatives is actually to educate users, which we're pushing a lot of tutorials very soon. And we realize, right, like DeFi is a really complicated concept still for a lot of users. So we're trying to, we're also working closely with GoodFi to build that simplified tutorial back to the users to learn.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, so you bring up GoodFi. We know a little bit about GoodFi, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that aren't familiar with GoodFi and your role and Sushi's role that you play in GoodFi. So, Rachel, could you explain a little bit about GoodFi and maybe also why you felt compelled to get involved?
Yeah, there's a lot of nonprofits out there, crypto nonprofits out there that are trying to embrace and trying to advocate DeFi. And what we particularly thought GoodFi was really good for was, bringing industry leaders together, and that's called unity, right? And I think that it's really hard to bring everyone together to work on the same mission, but GoodFi is able to. We're with Kila, we're with Aave, and many more industry leaders in the space where we can work together we have an advisory board meeting to discuss sort of what are some strategies. And for me, what I really care about is how can we educate people, right? So one of my biggest sort of thought is and wish is to work with them in terms of getting those educational materials out, not only for traditional DeFi users, but also really for people that are in the traditional finance space or people who simply need DeFi.
Okay, so what would you be how can the community help you there, or help kind of push GoodFi forward? What should the community be doing?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is still advocacy, right? Now we've formed an advisory board. Next step, in my opinion, is really to reach out to the people who are still unsure about what crypto is, or still think or skeptical about what it is, right? But then we really educate them, the difference between traditional finance and how DeFi is really revolutionizing that in different ways. So I think the next step is to really be in touch, personally in touch with the people, right? People out there, instead of just a very exclusive crypto native talking together, thinking about how we can change the DeFi space, but really talk to people who are not, right? So that's sort of our thinking here.
And are there things that projects themselves can do to help kind of push that narrative forward?
Yeah. Well, I can't necessarily speak for them, but I think they're probably looking for more talents, more industry leaders in the space who can join the force together and really push this movement forward, right? And what they're thinking is about, possibly in the next 5 years, they're thinking about having, I don't remember the exact number, but they're thinking about having hundreds of millions of people who have at least $1, one USDT in DeFi. I thought that's really powerful, because in order for them to even convince them to put some money in, it's like basically believing in the future of this, right? So I think it takes a lot to actually do that. And first, it is really starting from educating people, educating them.
Oh, got you. Oh, that's a beautiful mission. That's a beautiful mission. How can people find out more? Where should they go? What should they Google?
Yeah. What should they Google? They can Google Sushi, Polygon, and GoodFi, right? I think all of us are really trying hard to build educational materials for them to understand and really include as a community-driven project. So for me as Sushi, our one goal is really to help people to get in DeFi, right? If you're a community member, we're more than welcome to have you join our force, to volunteer, right? All of our community members and even a core team is actually once started as a community member. And that's what we really look forward to, instead of, oh, this person and oh, this person is my friend, and then I bring him on because he's my friend, and then I bring him on to the core team. But it's like, because you show great enthusiasm to the project and DeFi in general, that's why we want you here, right? So, people who are like that, we really look forward to meeting you.
Got you. Okay, so internally within the Sushi team, most of them have been just, in the community, on Telegram, on Discord, kind of being active. And then are y'all the ones that point them out and say, hey, come join us? Are they asking you to, like?
Yeah, absolutely. How I recruit people is literally go on our Discord volunteer channel and like, hey, we're looking for this. Want to come? Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we hire our members too.
Perfect. So I do have a really hard question.
Ready for that?
Okay. So you may have to take some time to think about the answer. Okay. In terms of Sushi, what's your favorite role?
Okay. That's a really hard question.
I told you.
Fun fact, I didn't even know omakase was until I joined Sushi.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
I didn't even know what that was. I thought it was like some sort of raw fish. Until I joined Sushi, which is fun.
Right?
I've learned about the Japanese culture. Well, I think I really like what kind of role I like.
It could be nigiri. That's not to be a role.
That's a really hard question. Let me think. I really like this role called dragon something. I remember I would always order.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it have?
What does it have? It has shrimp inside. It's fried. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah. I really like miso, to be honest. And lovely, we just launched a miso launchpad, and I'm in love with miso. I'd always order 2 every time I go to a restaurant.
So who comes up with those names?
Oh, like we really put in some thoughts in those names, like miso plus sake plus ingredients. Well, credit to Gompachi, our core developer at Miso. He's really put a lot of thoughts into naming that, right?
Okay.
And we literally thought of a marketing campaign where we do a dictionary, like a sushi dictionary, as a fun marketing campaign, because we do have a lot of different names, right?
Dude, it doesn't have to be a dictionary. It could be a menu.
Right.
Menu, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
there we go. There we go.
Yeah. Sushi restaurant. Yeah, all chefs. We're all chefs in the restaurant.
There you go. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so you talked a little bit about GoodFi and its mission in the whole DeFi space. What are some emerging trends that you're starting to see in this space?
I would say
as well.
Yeah, for sure. I would say bridging the traditional world to decentralized world, right? And I would say the first thing that really is doing that is NFTs. And here I would really like to talk a little bit about our newest project, Sake NFT. So Sake is not just a framed image of a bottle, but we actually go through a lot of effort to producing the bottle, to manufacturing it, to brewing the actual sake itself. The actual sake bottle is actually designed and manufactured by big architects. I'm not sure if you guys know. He's really famous. He was actually I didn't know, because he was actually the one who built and designed Google headquarter, and I think Facebook headquarter. I think, I think we're just really privileged to actually bring all of these really talented individuals who are in the traditional space. We're bringing them to DeFi space where we can really build this traditional bridge tradition to technology, and that's one of the mission that Sake is really standing on. And I think one of the biggest trends is probably NFT, and why is that? I think is really, really bridging that traditional aspect to a decentralized and decentralized aspect and technological trend. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's really exciting. I didn't know they were bringing architects to make the bottles, man.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the bottle, but it's, definitely go on miso.sushi.com. We have a documentary actually there display for you, just from ideating to producing to actually now launched on Miso for everyone to buy.
That's so
and
cool.
There's only 888 bottles ever will be produced, and the bottle itself is designed by a very famous architect, world-class architect, and the actual sake is brewed and preserved in a very, I don't know how they do that, but I know it's crazy. So
I imagine. Yeah, it seems you guys take design very seriously, just looking at all your products, your website.
For sure, yeah. And our goal really ultimately is to, bring DeFi to everyone.
Yeah, and have fun doing it. It seems like y'all are having fun doing it.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it. We're not just, everyone loves their jobs. We don't even call it our jobs. We just call it a fun day. Fun day at work.
Okay, cool. I hope for tax purposes as well. It's like, oh, it's not a job. It's just a fun day.
Exactly.
A tax fun day. But yeah, I mean, so we talked a little bit about the trends. Lately, there's been a lot going on in DeFi. What are some challenges that you're seeing and that you're spotting in the general DeFi space?
Challenges. Yeah, for sure. That's a really good question too. I would say the biggest challenge is still the educational aspect. I think we're too exclusive. We're in our head, in which we think if we don't make a step forward, then everyone's going to come to us. I think DeFi is really where we have to go out and preach, but I rarely see that. Right? People are making things more and more complicated. I know the tech is really, I know the idea and what they were trying to build is really crazy and is going to revolutionize the DeFi space. But one of the biggest blockers is really if we've grown to a level already, then that's the next step. We have to cross the chasm in which we have to actually reach to traditional users. But if we don't push for any tangible steps, then it's really hard, right? And a lot of my friends who are not in the DeFi space tell me, oh, I don't know what you're doing, right? I don't know what is this. But I realized that, it's really because we're doing a poor job to preach to them, right? Yeah, and I think probably the second one is also another sentiment that I see is just people think crypto is still very much skeptical. They're still very much skeptical about the space, right? I think those two aspects are something I'm trying actively to work on. I think that would be the next step, which is cross the chasm from natives to traditional users.
Got you. Yeah, I feel that when I'm trying to talk to traditional users, it kind of feels like you're speaking a different language.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, we all do need to do a better job of that. So okay, so we've talked now about those things. That's actually one of the things that we at QiDao are trying to do, is trying to make kind of DeFi a little bit more accessible through stablecoins. And we wanted to get your thoughts on, one, just QiDao in general, and then two, the role that stablecoins can play in this world that you're talking about, bridging the gap between traditional and DeFi.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you guys are doing, first of all, is very fantastic. It's really building the groundwork of actually building the Polygon ecosystem, in my opinion. And I think especially on what Polygon is building, there is a lot of potential to bridge the stablecoins to the real world, right? And I think you guys are also doing a great job in actually reaching to those cohort of people, talking to projects like Sushi who are very mission aligned, and potentially we can work together in some way in the future to actually achieve that mission. I know you guys have more to say about the tech of your project, but I think really focus on the infrastructure of boosting Polygon's ecosystem is the first step, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we want to enable this new community in Polygon to use their tokens more efficiently, encourage that movement, that usage that is known to build these kind of renaissance of DeFi in different spaces. So I'm glad you're seeing something like that as well.
Yeah, we love projects that are more community driven, and it's only community effort that can push things forward, not just a small exclusive board member who can push it forward, right?
Right. Yeah. Our community members will definitely tell you that we follow their word. So
yeah, that's what we love. We're also at Sushi, we're actively listening and actively seeking feedback from people, and that's why recently we've hosted so many user interviews and so many user research. So
oh, dope. Okay, and do you do those? Are those just like Zoom calls, or those are Discord, kind of setting up a stage and just listening in, or how do you communicate with your community?
Yeah, great question. So I guess like two ways. One way is more so just one-on-one talking to you, right? For example, I ask you, I walk you through our alpha interface, and really ask for feedback and really understand and observe how you interact with the platform, right? Second of all, we're actually thinking about one way to do it is potentially open up some sort of AMA where we just only listen to users. What do you have feedback for us? What do you think we should improve on, right? That's sort of the second initiative that I'm thinking about, is just sit down, every single team member really sit and listen.
Oh, cool. And so for the community that's watching, for the Polygon community, the users, as well as other projects, what can they do to help Sushi? Do you have an ask for them?
I think, I don't know. You tell me. I think the community members can tell me how they can help us, right? I'm pretty sure they have more creative minds than the people who are already working in Sushi. Like I said, we welcome any creative ideas. It's just a matter of reaching out and a matter of proposing. Currently, I think what we're doing is really looking for people who are talented in the community aspect, right? In the community management aspect, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, got you. That's an ask in itself. Just if
I just ask you to be creative and talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping those communication channels open. That's what we love to see. Cool. I know we're kind of getting close to time, and we do want to respect your time since you very graciously gave it to us, and we know that you have probably tons of things that you have to get back to. So as a parting question, is there somebody that you would like to hear from come on to these fireside chats and listen to their point of view? Or is there anyone that any one specific person or a project that you'd like to hear from?
Oh, that's a great question. I would love to hear from Polygon themselves.
Okay.
Maybe. A second one, I would say, yeah, to be honest, I would really love to hear from the Polygon members themselves. It's like, how do you really build a community, right? And I see that you guys are great at community building and really great at just building that ecosystem as well, and super great in bringing projects from Ethereum to Polygon. And I would love to hear more about what is the roadmap, right? What is really the roadmap there, and what is really the plan to advance forward. And in general, I'd love to learn more about the Polygon team themselves too.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we'll definitely call them out. We'll take a snippet.
Cool. I'll be live
tag
first. I'll be the first to be on the live show.
Yes, be on the live show. We do have a comment. Awesome. Here, let me throw this up.
Wow, thank you so much, Poopsters.
Poopster to you. Thank you. Fantastic. No, really, thank you so much. And I know that we'll continue chatting because I mean, for ourselves, and we've already chatted with some of the Sushi folks already on ways that we can collab. And I think there's going to be some beautiful magic that may be able to happen between the two parties. So thank you again for coming out and chatting with us, sharing your time, sharing your expertise. Again, if anyone does want to reach out, what are the best places?
Rachel? Best places, I'd say probably my Twitter or Discord channel, the volunteer channel. Our Discord server is probably one of the largest. So, but yeah, we still look at it every day. So we'll not ignore you.
No, that's true. They don't. They actually respond, which is fantastic.
Yep.
So perfect, Rachel.
All right.
We will chat with you later on. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Rachel, any parting words you'd like to share?
Yeah, I really just wanted to thank the Polygon community. I think everyone has been super active and supportive. A lot of our liquidity is very organic, and I think that's just a sign of how promising Polygon is, right? So really big thank you to everyone for supporting Sushi and the Polygon community.
Awesome. Well, we'll see y'all at the next talk.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you.